How to design a research project related to daily life. Designing a research project related to daily life can be a fascinating and challenging task. Daily life encompasses a wide range of activities, behaviors, and experiences that people engage in regularly. Therefore, the research project should be designed to investigate a specific aspect of daily life that is of interest to the researcher and relevant to the research question. In this video, we will discuss the steps involved in designing a research project related to daily life. These steps include identifying the research question, reviewing the literature, choosing a research design, selecting the sample, collecting data, analyzing data, and reporting findings. First, identifying the research question. The first step in designing a research project related to daily life is to identify the research question. The research question should be focused and specific, and it should address a problem or gap in the existing literature. For example, a research question related to daily life could be: how does social media use affect the mental health of teenagers? Second, reviewing the literature. Once the research question has been identified, the next step is to review the literature. The literature review should help the researcher to understand the current state of knowledge on the topic and identify any gaps in the literature that the research project could address. The literature review should also help the researcher to develop hypotheses or research questions that will guide the research project. Third, choosing a research design. The research design is the overall plan for how the research project will be conducted. The research design should be chosen based on the research question and the nature of the data that will be collected. There are several research designs to choose from, including experimental, quasi-experimental, correlational, and qualitative designs. The choice of research design will depend on the nature of the research question and the type of data that will be collected. Fourth, selecting the sample. The sample is the group of participants who will be included in the research project. The sample should be selected based on the research question and the research design. The sample should be representative of the population that the research project is trying to generalize to. The sample size should also be large enough to ensure that the findings are statistically significant. Fifth, collecting data. The data collection method will depend on the research question and the research design. The data collection method could involve surveys, interviews, observation, or experimental manipulation. The data collection method should be reliable and valid to ensure that the findings are accurate. Sixth, analyzing data. Once the data has been collected, the next step is to analyze it. The data analysis method will depend on the research question and the research design. The data could be analyzed using statistical software, content analysis, or thematic analysis. The data analysis method should be chosen based on the type of data that was collected and the research question. Seventh, reporting findings. The final step in designing a research project related to daily life is to report the findings. The findings should be reported in a clear and concise manner that is easy to understand. The findings should be presented in a way that is consistent with the research question and the research design. The findings should also be interpreted in the context of the existing literature, and the implications of the findings should be discussed. In conclusion, designing a research project related to daily life involves several steps, including identifying the research question, reviewing the literature, choosing a research design, selecting the sample, collecting data, analyzing data, and reporting findings. The research project should be designed to investigate a specific aspect of daily life that is of interest to the researcher and relevant to the research question. The findings should be reported in a clear and concise manner that is consistent with the research question and the research design.